Okay, so today's training, as I said, it's about safeguarding and child protection. And the essence of the training is to guide our volunteers as they begin their projects and as they work with us to understand why safeguarding is important. Has anybody heard the term safeguarding before? Has anyone heard the term safeguarding before? If you have, please pull up your hand and just turn on your mic and say what you want to say. Or what do you think safeguarding? Harm could, when people think about harm, they probably think about physical harm. The most common form of harm or that people think about when you talk about harm is physical harm, probably inappropriate touch. But most people don't focus on other kinds of harm, which could be emotional harm. Emotional harm is like shaming someone for maybe their posture, shaming someone for their weight, shaming someone for their financial status, shaming someone for their looks. All those things are included in harm, in the types of harm that can be done to a person. So when we talk about harm, it's not just about touching. It's also about our language, the way we talk about people, the way we talk about someone's look, the way we talk about someone's shape, the way we talk about someone's finances. Also intimidation because you feel you are bigger, taller, more huge. All those things constitute harm and makes an environment unsafe for a child. Also, when you violate boundaries, boundaries could be, language boundaries, it could be cultural boundaries, it could be, taking pictures without permission, it could be using pictures without permission. All those things are boundary violations. So when we talk about harm, we should see it in the context of physical harm. We should also see it in the context of emotional harm. We should also see it in context of verbal harm using demeaning language, insultive language. All those things cause harm to a child, cause harm to a fellow individual. Signs the child, how do we know that a child might be at risk? As I said earlier, a child being quiet might not be because the child has nothing to say. It could be a sign of that the child is withdrawing, probably because of being abused. The child is withdrawing. You start seeing a child that used to express themselves before. They are now a bit shy and a bit withdrawn. You could also notice some signs of fearfulness when you say, "Oh, it's time for school." A child who should normally be excited, starts feeling afraid, probably of the teacher, of their fellow classmates, things like that. Sudden behavior changes. So it could not just be maybe speech, it could not just be the way the child's confident, it could be other things like you start noticing that the behavior of the child sort of changes from who they used to be. That's how you know a child could be at risk. Now, let's look at some scenarios because I've just been talking, but I want to give like context to what I'm talking about. Now, this scenario one, boundary consent. As I said, there are various types of harm, and there could be boundary harms, harms caused by boundary violations. So, one scenario is a volunteer starts messaging a student privately after a school outreach to encourage her interest in STEM. Now, let's look at this carefully. I know yesterday, Ebube raised the question to say, how about if we keep going to talk to a particular child because they seem very interested in our talk, they seem very interested in the campaign we brought. Is it okay to contact the child privately? And I said it's not allowed for you to contact that child privately because it's boundary violations. You came under the umbrella of a school and under the umbrella of an organization, and so it is not in the child's best interest for you to contact the child privately. Now, why is this a problem? Private communication. When you have a one-on-one with a child without consent, then one of you could get framed up for saying something they didn't say or saying something they even said the wrong way. So one-on-one communication is not really advisable without consent, parental consent, consent of the school. You know, you don't want to get into trouble for, some people might say you are now trying to evangelize to their child, or maybe you are doing this for some selfish reason. You could be a ritualist, one of those kind of things. Now, if for any reason this sort of thing happens, what's the first thing to do? Is to terminate that communication immediately. Whatever private communication you've had, terminate it immediately. If you want to get in contact with that child, you have to go through the school. You have to go through the school. It's not allowed to contact a child one on one. Also, we expect you to report it because it has now become a concern. We expect you to report it to us. And also, all, as I said earlier, all communications must be channeled through approved channels. Must be must be must go through approved channels. You cannot just on your own, because obviously you partner with our organization and you even go under the umbrella of the school. So, does anybody have anything to say about this? Because I want this to be very interactive. Starting tomorrow, as I said, we are going to be going to schools for our own advocacies, and we are going to encounter some of these things. So, do we have any concerns, any questions regarding this particular scenario? Anything that doesn't seem maybe right in your eyes? Maybe there's another way you think we can approach this better. I would like to hear from us, please. If you have something to say, please put up your hand. Yes, it will be.
Good evening, ma.
Yeah, good evening.
Ma, regarding this boundary concern you earlier mentioned,
It will be, I think we lost you. Cannot hear.
if we are going out to these schools, send this so it is of like an information desk, customer services, people we can reach out to, those students can reach out to,
Mm.
or do we have a group in case? Can you hear me, ma?
I lost you at some point. You said, do we have a customer desk people can contact or something?
Yes. Are we going to have like an approved contact, like something like an information box where students can ask questions,
Mm.
or do we have a particular person who is answerable to all students in case if they ask for contact?
Yes. Why not? Like if they ask for contact, you can give them your contact. Do you understand? But don't give it to the students directly. Like you're not allowed to give it to the student directly, but obviously the school should have your contact. And if the student has any concern that they want to get to you, the student can go to the school to get your contact. You see, that way there's a clear channel. The student didn't come to you directly, so nobody can accuse you directly. You say, okay, the student came through the school. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
As long as there's no, what will I say now, through communication one on one. The big problem is one on one private communication. By the time you begin to involve other people, do you understand? Then it removes that one on one scenario. So if you can leave your contact and tell the students, my contact is with the school. The school can always contact me. If you have any questions, go through your head teacher, go to your class teacher. They have my contact and they will get through to me. Do you understand?
Yes, ma. Ma, where I'm actually coming from,
Mm.
if you can hear me, ma,
Yes.
because the network is actually fluctuating.
Mm.
Can you hear me, ma?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ma, since we are coming under a body which is STEM Ladies Soulmates,
Mm.
I don't think like if giving them my personal contacts is right. That's what I'm saying. I think giving them the body contact,
Yeah.
like, oh, meet, if you want to reach out to me, reach out to this information box or anybody contact. Then I think the body should direct the student to write mentorship, or that's what I'm saying now.
Okay. Yeah, I totally understand. Our contact details are going to be given to everybody. My contact details, I'm already on the WhatsApp channel, you see. So that's my contact detail. It's available to everyone. So if you need to contact me, please, you can do that using, you can drop my contact anywhere. I don't mind people calling me. I don't mind people messaging me. So you can give my contact to the school. I'm the founder of the organization. If they need any mentorship, they need any resources, guidance, I'm very, very happy to provide it. I'm very happy to provide. Do we have do we have any other questions, concerns? Do we have any? Okay. Well, I don't think we have. I hope it's not the network, but I don't think we have. So we move to scenario number two. Now, scenario number two is inappropriate language. During a tutoring session, a volunteer jokingly says, girls are usually bad at maths, but you are trying. Now, why this is wrong is there's a stereotype already that exists that makes girls run away from STEM. And the stereotype is this, that STEM is not for girls because it is hard. So why don't you go and instead do international relations, for example, because it's easier, it's something like that is the one that is for girls. Why don't you go and do something like communications or like this or like that? The people are already in the habit of suggesting things that are easy in quotes to girls. And this is a stereotype problem. This does not only, we think it's just mere words, but as I said, there's wrong use of language that can cause harm. And what is that harm? Damaging someone's confidence. Maybe the person was aspiring to even go on and become work in NASA, for example. But that simple you are bad at maths damages the person's confidence. Now, if that ever happens, you address it immediately, you apologize and reframe your language, and you report for learning and accountability. It's important that you report us. You see, even in the first instance, I mentioned how important it is to report. Even in this instance where you wrongly use inappropriate language, it is important that you talk to us about it. Again, does anybody have something to say? Because I want us to say something. I don't think it's okay that I'm just the one talking and we are not, because obviously we are the ones that are going to now go into the field. So please, what do you have to say? Because I know at some point in our lives, we've had a situation like this where someone has told us, I didn't expect you to be in engineering. You're really trying. Girls don't usually succeed here. In my first year, I went for, what did I even go for? Was it a meeting somewhere? And then it was a first year gathering. It was like freshers welcome or something. And they 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 said everybody get up, say your name, introduce yourself, and then what course you're studying. And when I got up, I introduced myself. My name is Ene, and I'm studying this and this. And some people just started laughing. And then so I was like, what's happening? Why is everybody laughing? What's funny? And they said, ha, sure say you will graduate. Are you sure you will graduate? So many people start with enthusiasm, or as they call it in Nigeria, gra, and they don't succeed. Are you sure you will succeed? People say things like this. Even I had an uncle who I was studying mechanical engineering. I said, why did you think something easier? So people say these kind of things too. I'm sure we've heard it in one form or the other. So, and those kind of language damages someone's confidence, and you're going to be meeting young people that encouraging to, thrive in STEM. You don't the last thing you want to achieve is damaging their confidence. Are we communicating?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So do we have any questions so far? We have, I think, two more scenarios before we wrap up this particular training. We have two more scenarios to cover. Please, if you have anything to say, please drop it in the chat. If you're understanding, I want to be sure that everyone can hear me. So I don't know, I don't think everybody can hear me. So if you can hear me and you've heard all I've said so far, please just put it in the chat. One thing that you've learned, one thing that you understand, just a word or something for me to know that everybody is following our discussion. Please, let's fill the chat with what we are learning. Type what you're learning in the chat so that I can see that we are following the discussion. So we now move to scenario number 3. Now, scenario number 3 has to do with photos and consent. A volunteer posts photos of children from an outreach on Instagram without consent. As I said yesterday, it is important for you to take photos with consent. Some schools may not have a problem with you taking photos, but it's important that you establish the fact that you will take photos. You tell them, oh, we work for social organization and we compile reports after these visits. It's important for us to take photos. Is it okay if we take photos? And if they say yes, it's okay. You say, okay, we would like to take photos during our event and probably after the event. And if they say okay, then you can proceed. If they refuse, it's not a reason for you not to run your campaign there. It's not a reason. You can sow a seed without photos. The photos is just, you will still submit a report of what happened. The photo is just an add-on. We are grateful when we receive photos, but also you can also do an advocacy without photos. So this is a serious matter because it's privacy violation. If some people don't want their faces on camera, then they don't want their faces on camera. I remember when a good example I like to give is personal anyway. I had my daughter's first year birthday recently, and one of the ladies that attended the birthday told me, I don't want my photos. Are you going to post these photos online? I said, yeah, I post them on my Instagram. And she said, please, when you do, please blur my face. And she said, oh, because I don't want my face online. I don't want it, I don't have a digital footprint. I don't want my face online. And when I posted the photos, I had to blur her face because you don't have to violate anybody's rules or privacy. It's very important that you establish that there was consent. So if that ever happens, what do? You take down the content immediately and you inform us about it. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yes.
Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So taking of photos without consent is not proper. So whenever we need to take photos, it's important that we ask for consent. Usually before you start, say, oh, during this program, we usually like to take photos to add to our report. So can we take photos? And they say, yeah, it's okay, take as much photos as you want. You go on and take your photos. Okay. So I think we have one more scenario. Yeah, okay. So we have reporting and responding. Now, there's a thing about feelings, right? If you feel something is wrong, most times it's wrong. And when you notice or you have an inclination that there's something wrong, what you do is you report it. You report it. What you don't do is to go and carry out an investigation on your own. And this is in regards to safeguarding. Whenever you notice that a child is at risk, or you notice some behavioral changes around the child, some form of withdrawal, there's probably something wrong. Now, what you do is that you trust your instinct and report it. What you don't do is to carry out that investigation alone, like calling the child a corner and start to interrogate the child. You don't do that. You report it, and then proper channels for investigation will be gone, will be followed to, nip the problem in the bud. Because first of all, it's not particularly our duty to flush out safeguarding consent. We have to also liaise with the school, because the school probably has a more personal relationship with that child. They probably know the child's parents, they know the family, so it is easier for them, or it's more appropriate for them to spearhead that consent. Now, to protect yourself and to protect us, please report any concerns you notice. Do you notice that a child has been beaten with so many marks on their body? They look like they've been injured. Please report it to us. Don't speak to the student alone. Do you feel like did you hear the child saying to another child that they've been probably touched without their consent? Report it to us. Don't speak to the student alone. And if you must speak to the students there, ensure that there is a staff from that school present. Ensure that someone from that school, that there's a representative there. Report any case of abuse the student tells you to the management, to the school first, and then to us. Always report it. And lastly, do not take any gifts from students. Do not take any gifts from students for whatever reason. Sir, ma, we appreciate you. We want to give you this. They have to go through their school. These gifts have to come from the school, not the students. When you want to take the photo for whatever you receive, make sure the principal is in the photo with the students. It's the principal that presents it to you, and you are all in the photo. Please, private one-on-one encounter with students, taking gifts is prohibited. Now, how do you report? How do you report? If a child is in immediate danger, remove them from the situation. Now, if a child has come to tell you that there's some brother in their street that does this and does that, what's the immediate thing to do? Is to go and report it to the school immediately. Say it's not okay for this child to go home. Please, you have to take this child to the parents. Or the parents should be someone come and pick this child today to avoid this. Stay calm, stay supportive, remove the child from immediate danger, or go through the school. Now, immediate reports. Reports to the program coordinator, in this case is me. The safeguarding lead will be appointed. For now, we have a small team, so we don't have a safeguarding lead. So I'm the safeguarding lead and the program coordinator for now. So please, if there's anything, report to me. Do not handle the issue alone. Do not promise confidentiality to the child. What does this mean? The child has reported that there's somebody touching them in their home. Don't tell the child, I won't tell anybody. No, completely wrong. You must tell me. You must tell the school. You must share that information with someone. In this case, the organization and the school, or the parents. For example, if it's on those one-on-one tutor basis, you must share that information with the parents. In fact, the fact that the child has come to you, if the child say, please don't tell anybody, say, I'm not going to tell, I'm going to handle this the way that is best for you. That's what you should say. Don't promise that, don't worry, I won't tell anyone. How to record it. When you've heard something, if you see something, say something. You write what day, the time, what the person said exactly. Don't add what was not said or what you think or what you imagine. No, what exactly the person said, the names of the people involved, what you did, what actions you took. It's very, very important. Do not investigate the issue on your own, as I said earlier. Do not go and confront the brother or the person or the parents. Go through the school. Do not confront the person. Do not share the information with others. These others being your siblings, your neighbors, your friends. It's not a subject for public discussion. Do not delay reporting. Do not say, I will wait till next month. I'll wait till 2 weeks' time. I will do this or do that. Do not post it. It's not something to go and share on a blog or start creating content about on social media. Safeguarding is about protection, remember, and it's your duty to protect the child and the child's identity and even confidence. For example, a student comes to you and tells you, I don't like how this particular teacher talks to me or talk to me. What do? You thank her. Oh, thank you very much for coming to tell me. Do not ask her any further questions. Go straight and report exactly what was said. I leave you with this. We would rather receive 10 reports that turn out to be nothing than this one report that could have protected the child. So the safety of a child is very, very important to us. We'd rather receive reports and then when we've investigated, found out that it's nothing of concern than to be nonchalant and eventually find out that something was going wrong in the background. So that brings us to the end of our safeguarding training.